Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Munah Humaira binti Tirmizi and I will be presenting about the definition of democracy. Basically, democracy can be defined as a system of government in which political authority is exercised by the people, either directly or through elected representative. The word democracy comes from two Greek roots. Demos means people and kratia means rule or power. According to Abraham Lincoln, democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. This means that the people are the ones who hold political authority and create the rules to govern the state. There are two major types of democracy, which are direct democracy and representative democracy. Since Indonesia is suitable country to discuss in this topic, we can say that it practices representative democracy, where the people elect public officials or public figure to make decisions for them in parliament and to govern the society. Now we move on to the indicators of democracy. So basically, what are the indicators used to measure democracy? First, free and fair elections, because citizens, they can choose their own leaders without any pressure or any barriers. Second, rule of law. Rule of law meaning that not only civilians but also the government officials are subject to the law. And third, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech means where people have the opportunity or the chances to express their opinions and share information freely. Next is separation of powers. Separation of powers means authority is divided among the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. And finally is political participation. Political participation, meaning to say that where citizens are involved in voting, choosing their own political parties, and taking part in public discussion.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iza Farzana binti Abdul Halim, and I will be discuss about institution and practices, which is contains three body that important in democratic system. So the first one is legislative, and the second one is judiciary, and the third one will be the executive. So the first one will be executive, which is the most important in Indonesian country which practice a democratic system. So the highest hierarchy in Indonesian country in executive is the president, which president is the head of state and head of government in Indonesia, in the country. And after the president will be the vice president, and the third one will be the cabinet. So the main board of executive, they has the authority to administer the state and proposing the state budget, and also they have the authority to coordinate development programs in the country. So the executive board contains five body or five fields, which is the first one is administrative field, and the second one is legislative field, and the third one is field of security, which they have to monitor the country to make sure the country is in a safe condition. And the fourth one is jurisdiction, and also the fifth one is the diplomatic field, that they must to organize the international relations. So the legislative is a body that obligated to make, discuss, and confirming laws that consists of three bodies, which is the first one is House of Representative, that refers to Dewan Perwakilan Rakyat, and the short name of this representative is DPR, and the second one is People Consultative Assembly, which is refers to MPR, and the third one is District House of Representative, which is refers to DPD. And all of this legislative body, it has two main function, which is the first one is the legislation, which is they must determine state policy and making laws, including the right of initiative and the right to amend bills. And the second one is supervision, which is they are obligated to supervise the implementation of laws by the executive institutions to ensure they are in accordance with legal provisions and the interests of the people in Indonesian country. So of course the third one will be the judiciary, which a body that make law enforcement and the constitution in Indonesian country. So in this judiciary, they have two main institution, which is the first one is the Supreme Court, which is called Mahkamah Agung, and the short form is ME. And the second one is the second highest institution is Constitutional Court, which called Mahkamah Konstitusi, and the short form is MK, as stated in the slide. So the Supreme Court, which is the highest judiciary in Indonesia country, they are obligated to decide on appeals, resolving the disputes over judicial authority between the judicial institutions. And the Constitutional Court, the second highest of judiciary constitution, which is called MK. So they are deciding the dissolution of political parties and resolving disputes over general elections results and making decisions on the House of Representative, which is Dewan Perwakilan Rakyat, which is DPR.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Amira Amani, and for today, I'll discuss about the role of media, election, and civil society in Indonesia democratic system. The media plays a central role in Indonesia democracy by shaping public opinion and monitoring government actions. After the fall of New Order regime, press freedom expanded through the Press Law of 1999, which guarantees freedom of expression and protects journalists. However, media independence also faces challenges. Media ownership is concentrated among political and business elites, which can influence news reporting, especially during election. Journalists also face pressure through defamation and cyber laws. At the same time, social media has become a major platform for political discussion but also spreads misinformation. Elections are the foundation of Indonesia democracy. Citizens directly elect their president, parliament, and regional leaders every 5 years. The General Election Commission, which is KPU, organizes election, while Bawaslu supervises by-election. Indonesia elections are generally competitive and inclusive, with high voter turnout. However, challenges such as money politics, vote buying, and identity-based campaigning continue to affect the quality of democracy. Social media also plays a strong role in shaping voter behavior. Civil society is another key pillar of democracy in Indonesia. It includes NGOs, student movement, religious organizations, and advocacy groups. Civil society plays a major role in the Reformasi movement in 1998 and continues to promote human rights, transparency, and public accountability. However, civil society also faces growing pressure from government regulation, limited funding, and organizational constraint. Despite these challenges, civil society remains an important defender of democratic values in Indonesia.
Hello, my name is Nur Shafia. Now we move to the challenges and trends in Indonesia. Firstly is corruption. Corruption in Indonesia has happened since colonial era until now. There is three reasons why corruption is happening. Firstly is internal factor. Internal factor mean here is human being has a greedy nature for wealth. Secondly is external factor. External factor is happen due to social pressure to the point of violate the ruler. Thirdly is political factors, such as embezzlement of funds and personal gain. When corruption is happen, it can be damage to the social and national economy. Government has established Department Corruption Eradication Commission during era President Megawati Soekarno Putri to dealing with corruption. Example corruption case in Indonesia is a corruption scandal involved the purchase of crude oil and petroleum product over 193.7 trillion rupiah has led to the arrest of many executives of a subsidiary of the state agency PT Pertamina. Secondly is authoritarian tendency. Freedom of speech is one of authoritarian tendency. Indonesia is one of democratic country. Characteristic of a democracy is all individual has a right to express their idea and opinion. Protection of individual right of expression in Indonesia is not reached a satisfactory level, even though Indonesian government has a law on freedom of speech. Example is arrest of activists and journalists without clear reason. Now we move to the inequality. There is three inequality has happened in Indonesia. Inequality in economic, education and health. Reason why inequality in economic is happen is because of lack of job offer for those who are looking for work. That's why many Indonesian people has migrated to other country to find a job. Reason why inequality in education is happen is because of financial problem from a poor family they cannot afford to pay a school fee. Inequality in health is happen because of happen in rural area is because of few health worker and few facility. Government should play a main role to overcome inequality problem.
Hi, my name is Faradia. Let's move on to the challenge, which is ethnic. Ethnic Javanese is a challenge to the disharmony of ethnic relation in Indonesia, which is Javanese dominance into the other ethnic. Why? Because Javanese is a high population. We can see the island of Java was made a center of government, industry, and economy by President Suharto. By the economy, Java is known as a Green Royo, which is a fertile land, and the island of Java is the largest contributor to the economy in Indonesia. Java also a rapid growth into the industrial sector. The, the island of Java also encouraged by the Indonesian government in industrial growth in the long term. And then transmigration to the new order, which is transfer community to the island of Java to the enabling area. And then this transfer actually did not give the positive impact because the intelligence and advantage of the Javanese community who are strong in working cause the local community to be jealous and feel marginalized. And then authoritarianism, that means where the government or president hold the full power. So the majority of the ruler ethnic is Javanese. And federal is inequality of power, which is a hierarchical social and political structure. Javanese ethnic is for the elite, while the other ethnic is for the lower class. Religious tension. Politics has a great influence on the position of Islamic as the majority religion, as well as the granting of religious freedom for adherents of other religions. So the effect is religious education. Politics affect how religious education is applied in school, which is followed by Law 2003, which requires religious education for students of the same religion in all education institutions. Finally, the law 2003 became option because it served interests of Islam and also define pluralism. And then national policy. Politics also powerful, determining whether its religion is official or not. The state choose sponsors still as the basis of the state, which is used to this day to maintain the social harmony. And then religious tension also arise in the application of Islamic law. There have been many failures that have been accepted. For example, Islamic law that accepted is marriage law, the religious justice law, the wearing of hijab, Indonesian Muamalat Bank, and the joint districts SKB on the establishment of house of worship. Media restriction. The media and the internet restriction issued by the government were respond to a demonstration held by the Papua Student Alliance on the Papua right to independence from the Indonesia. This controlling information and government secret being spread. First, the challenge in internet restriction have prevented people from accessing their disseminating information freely, thus impact information democracy. This is a challenge for people to distinguish between true and fake news. Therefore, public cannot access the real situation and only relies on official government information. And then the next point, communication right of the community. Yeah, this is difficult to journalists publish the report and block the voice of people. And then this is a challenge also for those who lack digital literacy, such as elderly who only depend on new broadcasts. Therefore, society cannot distinguish between false information and true.